Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to get quite controversial, as we are, I think, with a lot of future videos. But today we're talking about the legend and the so-called sightings and encounters of Bigfoot. I like to think of myself as a very scientifically minded person, but at the same time I don't want to be so short-sighted in that I discount other people's stories. This is why I'm so fascinated by cases such as Bigfoot, because it's so easy to disprove something, but it's so easy to prove something if you have concrete evidence. So today's video is essentially going to be a challenge for me, and maybe for you watching, to take in these stories and to not discredit them as fake. And I would like to think that people tell these stories because something actually happened to them, not because they want a bit of money or fame. But first, if you have been living under a rock and you're not familiar with Bigfoot, then let's go over the legend of it and why so many people believe in it to this day. The legends of Bigfoot go back beyond our recorded history and cover the entire world. In North America, you can hear tales of 7-foot-tall hairy men stalking the woods and occasionally scaring campers and hikers. Bigfoot is known by many titles such as Sasquatch, which derives from the Salish word Sesiak, which means wild men, although the name Bigfoot is generally attributed to the mountainous western region of North America. Other nations tell of a large creature much like a man, but imbued with special powers and characteristics. Some believe it appears in times of danger, and others agree that the figure was a messenger of warning, telling humanity to change its ways. North American settlers started reporting sightings in the late 1800s and into the 1900s, with the occasional finding of footprints, random encounters, and even a few grainy photos and videos. Those who claim to have seen Bigfoot have described everything from a large upright ape to an actual hairy human, sometimes standing over 8 feet tall and described as powerfully built. To this day, entire organisations exist to study and document Bigfoot and prove its existence, and groups regularly search the Northwest woods looking for that ultimate proof. Let's get into the encounters. There is a website called the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organisation, otherwise known as BFRO, which lists all of the sightings of Bigfoot across the entire world and how many encounters there have been in each place. In America, it's Washington that has the most sightings, followed by states such as California, Florida, and Ohio. In Canada, it's British Columbia that has the most sightings. And across the world, there have been countless sightings in countries such as Malaysia and China, as well as many others. Saying this, let's now get into some of the most convincing Bigfoot sightings. I'm going to start with the least convincing ones, in my opinion, all the way up to the most convincing. And as these cases gain credibility as we go through them, you'll find that they get more disturbing. Allegheny Bigfoot. In 2007, hunter Rick Jacobs captured some of the most famous Bigfoot images to date with a camera mounted to a tree in Pennsylvania's Allegheny National Forest. Skeptics believe the animal is just a bear that was suffering from a skin disease. The photo was taken at night, so it's very dark and you can't really tell what the figure is in the photo, and even so, looking at it, it doesn't really scream to me that this is evidence of Bigfoot. Snowy Bigfoot footprint. British explorer Eric L. Shipton was on an Everest expedition in 1951 with his team when at around 16,000 feet they stumbled upon a series of footprints in the snow. Since the mountaineers had no tools available for measuring the footprints, they used what they had on hand: an ice pick, a backpack, and Michael Ward's left boot. These photographs allege that the footprints belonged to a Yeti. Then we have another example of a footprint being the evidence. Johnstown's Smelly Bigfoot. Locals in Johnstown, Pennsylvania were baffled by a footprint measuring 17.75 inches found near a residential home in 1980. According to the Associated Press, the footprint coincided with reports of strange noises and a strong but unusual odour in the area. Now, with these two examples, footprints don't really do it for me. Footprints are very easy to create yourself and then take a picture of it. But if these are truly real, then it's incredibly disturbing to think of, because something with that size foot made that print. The Bigfoot walk. Then we have the most famous piece of evidence of Bigfoot, and it's the video that introduced me to Bigfoot in the first place. In 1967 in California, Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin captured a video of a Bigfoot walking across the plain. The Bigfoot walk it depicts has been parodied by many, but never truly replicated. Even with this enhanced image, it's hard to tell if it's a person in a gorilla suit or the real deal. The reason this video wasn't rated very highly, in my opinion, is because it seems too good to be true. I hate saying that, but when something is just that obvious, it's right there, he's walked straight across the camera, it screams to me that there's something not quite right, that there's something fake here. And as you'll see in later footage that I'm going to show you, this doesn't really seem like the kind of behaviour a Bigfoot would show. Even if a Bigfoot is, I don't know, twice the size of a human, or, you know, at least a lot bigger than humans, I would think that if they see a predator, or at least just something else in their area where they're walking, where they're hunting, surely they would feel a little bit taken aback and they would go into fight or flight mode. And you just don't see it in this video, so it kind of tells me that it's just a person in an outfit walking across, because they're so clearly like, oh hi, you know, just having a little stroll. Marble Mountain Bigfoot. In 2001, a youth group was camping in the Marble Mountain wilderness in California when the leader, Jim Mills, points out that a den has been made out of massive branches of trees, which themselves have been snapped rather than sawed.
Some kind of creature has taken and piled tons and tons of leaves and branches to either camouflage or make a place to hide. We notice claw marks as we look at the trees and stuff. We see that they use trees around about to just... I
see how they're broken. Snapped like
they're
twigs.
snapped like twigs. No hatchets. No human marks of a saw.
This suggests that something very large and strong was able to snap these branches.
Everything snapped as though by mighty, mighty strength.
The students then point out a strange looking creature skulking along a ridge nearby, where it starts walking back and forth, waving its arms at them.
We see something moving on the hill above.
Where?
Where is it? Is it like where? It's stopped. Like right on the other
Yeah.
side of it? No, it stopped and looking at us.
It's kind of looking at us.
I don't see it.
Moving now.
The trees.
He should come out in between them or past them, I would think. There he is. See him right between the two trees right now? Yeah. See?
Oh yeah, he's walking down.
See, he's between the two trees right now. Yeah.
See King's Castle?
Yeah.
He's shaking his fist at us.
He's right in between the two trees right now.
He's screaming at us something. Get out of my camp. Get out of my camp.
He's probably saying, hey, there's 15 Bigfoots down there.
He's coming. Is he coming down?
He's
like
jumping up and down. He's going back and forth. He is furious. He knows we're in
He's
his...
acting kind of strange.
Now he's almost in the tree.
Where's John?
That
Doesn't
is...
look like a person.
It does not look like a
Doesn't
person.
look like a person.
Its arms are way too big. Look at how long the hands hang down to the...
How can you
Oh,
see
yeah,
from...
they're down to his knees at least, aren't they?
Nita.
His arms obviously hang below his knees.
Shh. Don't make fun of Sasquatch.
The video is almost 7 minutes long, making this the longest recorded video of an alleged Bigfoot sighting. I quite like this video and I find it quite captivating, especially how these massive branches are somehow snapped in half, and you can see in the footage that they're definitely not sawed because you can't see that clean mark on the branch. And I like that the figure is miles away, so you can barely see it, because it makes it more believable in that is why it's not running away, because it's a safe distance away from these campers. And even though it is that far away, like, he has to zoom in a lot on that camera, you can still see the arms, how long they are when he's walking on that ridge. And when it starts to turn towards them and starts doing all this, whatever it's doing, it's very, very peculiar, very weird behaviour. So it's either a very troubled person on that ridge, or maybe someone's acting, but I just don't see that as a possibility. I don't know. I think mainly because these are campers, these are kids essentially, and they're just on a camping trip, and that gives it an innocence as to they're not getting anything out of this. Independence Day Bigfoot. Called the Independence Day film, this figure was caught in a remarkably clear video that shows an alleged adult Bigfoot walking through the woods with a cub in its arms. The filmmaker and exact location are unknown, and many skeptics claim that there is a telling visible seam of a gorilla suit. I personally didn't see a seam in this video, and I just think with the cub in its arms, it makes it a lot more believable. And from what I said earlier about these later cases being a bit more believable in their behaviour, this one is a prime example, because it hides behind a rock and then pokes out to see if that human or predator has fled, and as he sees this person still recording it, it just runs away. And I feel like that would be normal behaviour for a Bigfoot or an ape, something like that kind of creature. All of this just makes this a truly engrossing video. The Provo Canyon sightings. In 2012, a hiker was walking through the Utah hills near Provo Canyon when he spotted a large animal in the woods. As he approached, the animal stood up on two legs and started throwing rocks at him, supposedly a trademark behaviour of Bigfoot. Now, this video alone wouldn't be as convincing without the next video I'm about to show you. Sadly, I didn't hear back from the owner of this video for permission to use it, but basically the siblings stumble across what looks like to be a bear, which they film for about 30 seconds or so. Then suddenly the so-called bear stands up and its true height is shown for a split second before the hikers run away. This is a terrifying video, somewhat more than the first video I showed you in Provo Canyon, because they are very, very close to whatever this creature is, and then it suddenly gets up on two legs, and the height of it, it's incredible, and you don't even get a good look. You maybe get a second to have a look at it before they start running away. And that also gives this more credibility, because that is such a natural reaction to just run away from whatever you've just seen. Washington's Blue Mountain Bigfoot sighting. So remember what I said earlier about Washington being the state in America with the most Bigfoot sightings? In 1994, former US Forest Patrolman Paul Freeman records footage of multiple Bigfoot footprints in Washington's Blue Mountains. He then hears rustling in the brush and raises his camera to see a Bigfoot walking through the foliage.
Can't see much up through here. I hear the brush popping and stuff. Oh, there he goes. Jesus.
The video is shaky and grainy, but it has been deemed the real deal by so-called Bigfoot experts. The fact that Freeman was a former US Forest Patrolman just gives it more credibility, because he would know what is normal in the woods and what is not. So, and he also wouldn't make up something like this. I don't feel like someone who had that previous job would do something like this. And the last video, personally, I think is the most disturbing and the most believable. Mississippi Bigfoot. Mississippi resident Josh Highcliff captured a video of a potential Bigfoot while hunting on his property in 2013. After being afraid to go back into the woods, he posted this footage on YouTube, asking for help to identify the animal or for a prankster to come forward. This footage is the most suspenseful out of all of these clips I've shown you, in my opinion. We're seeing the strength of the creature ripping the bark off the tree and then plonking it into the water next to him. And then it stands up, as with these other videos I've shown you, and that natural reaction of the filmer just bolting it out there. It just makes this really believable, and he just sounds so scared. You can hear his breathing. And I just don't think that you could fake it on that level. I don't know, I just find this video incredibly believable. I hope you enjoyed looking at all these different types of footage of Bigfoot, and I'd really like to know your opinion on this. Like, do you believe in it or do you not? I like to keep an open mind about everything in life, and I'm always of the opinion that we cannot know everything. So why can't it be possible that a creature such as Bigfoot exists out there somewhere? Perhaps it originated from an ape that flourished from having no predators and plenty of food, and as a result it's just grown to be incredibly strong and massive. Or is it just another myth that's been passed down for centuries so that children don't wander into the woods alone at night? Let me know your thoughts on this, and until next time, thanks for watching.